Right then, just doing a few checks on the audio and then we will carry on with the live stream. Are you all okay? If you're here, welcome to the live stream. Just doing a few checks. Let's see how this goes. Let me know how the audio is. If you're watching live, let me know. If you're watching on the replay, big up the replay crew, then you can't let me know because you're watching on the replay. But it's much more fun doing it live. Hello, Jane, my love. Oh, thank you. Our first person here today to see this evening, actually, and our first member. We do have memberships on here now. I've turned them off on the Curious Bunny because I'm going to be doing more streaming over here. So I will still be doing stuff on the Curious Bunny, but I thought we'd put them on over here. They're only 99p. So I've closed them on the Curious Bunny, and they're now open over here. So if you want to join the membership and you were a member before, then this is where you can do it. Or Penny Bunny, it's still there as well. We've got Steve, we've got Tamsin. What we're going to be doing today, well, this evening, we're going to be doing a roundup of all the news. Well, not all the news, but the top news stories and politics. I'm going to be giving you my opinion. The first thing I want to cover is this crazy case of this released by alleged accidentally, possibly on purpose, in my opinion. They've got him. They finally got him after a 2-day manhunt. Hi, Jenna. How you doing, darling? Hi, Lee. Welcome, everybody. We've got 10 people watching, please. No, Mamawa. Oh, my God. It started already. Gizmo, get off him. Sorry about that, everybody. That was Gizmo being naughty. Okay, hi everybody, how you doing? So this asylum seeker, I'm not even going to attempt to say his name because I'll probably get it wrong. As usual, the dogs are being naughty. They are worse than children. They're worse than little toddlers. Okay, so this is the dude here. I think he actually looks evil. This Ethiopian man, he just got a nasty look about him. Maybe it's just the photo. I don't know. But they've got him. They've got him today, and we're going to watch a few videos on this. This is going to be the main story. I think you need to put some stuff on that door. We're going to be covering this story today, and there'll be a few other little stories as well, but this is the main one. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts throughout. So, yeah, there's the link there. Yeah, every time, Lee, every time. How's the audio? My sound check person, there has been a lot today as well. We'll be covering that as well, Jane. My sound check engineer hasn't commented on my audio yet. I know he's been busy with trying to look after these dogs. So we're going to look at the timeline first of all. For those of you that aren't in the UK, or you've been living under a rock all weekend and haven't seen any news, then we're going to find out about this dude. So this was an Ethiopian national, and he was staying in Epping. Some say he was in the Bell Hotel, some say he wasn't in the Bell Hotel, but this happened in Epping, and this guy was accused, charged, and convicted. Oh my God, they're at it again. They're at it again. They're at it again.
Gizmo, stop it.
Naughty. Every time I go live, they start being naughty. Behave, you pair, little sausages. So he was actually he was convicted of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old child. Now, many of the news outlets are saying a 14-year-old girl or a 14-year-old woman. Let's get this right. She was a child, a kid, not a young lady. It's bad enough doing it to a woman, but he did it to a child and a woman, and he got 1 year and 1 month. So he's out in 6 months, and because he's been on remand, He'd almost served his time and he got let out by mistake, but he was actually supposed to be let out in a couple of days' time and deported back to Ethiopia. But apparently our prison service let him go. And this bloke apparently didn't even know that he weren't supposed to be going. You see, the thing is, right, he could say, listen, I don't speak English. Hi, Rach, I don't have a phone. I haven't seen the news, you know? So anyway, so we're going to get the exact timeline of this guy. I'm going to try and say his name once and only once. Hadush Kabatu. So here he is. Let's watch this little clip, actually. I don't know if Sky will let me, but let's see. Oh, God, look who it is.
Well, we have breaking news for you. Hadush Kabatu has been arrested. Hadush Kabatu, who was released in error from HMP Chelmsford on Friday morning, has now been detained, arrested by Metropolitan Police officers in the Finsbury Park area of London at around 8:30 this morning. Commander James Conway, who has overseen the operation to find Kabatu, said, "This has been a diligent and fast-paced investigation led by specialist officers from the Metropolitan Police, supported by Essex Police and the British."
That is probably the worst newsreader I've ever heard in my life. I think that was that Trevor Watson, wasn't he? Anyway, I'll read it better myself. So, the small boat offender. Now, this guy, he came over on one of these small boats, say small boats. They have these super dinghies now, illegally, okay? He came into our country. Oh, thank you, Jane. I've just seen that. Feel so fearful at the moment. I know, darling. I know it's hard, sweetheart. I know. We've got to all stay strong, darling, and stay together. Yeah? This is why I do this channel as well. Trevor Phillips, that's it. Thank you, Jane. Thank you. We've got to stay strong, darling, you know? There's more of us than there is of them. And just remember that, sweetheart. But thank you. That's really kind. Hi, Jimmy. See the one who was deported and come across. Oh, the one who, yes. Yeah, he got sent off. And then I'll get onto that in a minute, actually. We'll cover this first. But yes, Jimmy. So this dude came over on a boat illegally. Now, they're saying that he's a criminal because I sing Blue Silver. He's a criminal because he did these offences. Yeah, he is. But he's a criminal anyway because he shouldn't be coming into this country. If you come into this country illegally, you are immediately a criminal and should be deported. I don't understand what is so difficult. I've been saying for years, stick some cruise ships in the channel. Throw a few great whites in as well while you're there. That'll sort it out. They can actually live in this climate. It's been proven. But anyway, some cruise ships, do not let them get on our land. Never let them enter this country. Cruise ships on our waters where it meets the French waters. Bring them aboard, give them a wash and a meal and a bed for the night, and then put them back on the dinghy and bugger them back off again. That's all you've got to do. It's not difficult. Other countries do it. Greece are now doing it. Australia did it. Look, remember, Australia was being bombarded 10, 12, 15 years ago with these Africans, and it worked for them as well. And now they don't get any. So you've got to have a government that actually want to do it and a civil service that aren't all woke and want them all in. But anyway, getting back to this dude. So he arrived here illegally. By the way, how's the audio? Sound engineer in the background. How's the audio, please? Can you have a listen? Anyway, no, but you're not. I'm on about on my. I know you can hear me very well in the background. I'm on about on your phone. Honestly, you can't get the stuff. Guys, how's the audio? Let me know in the chat, please. Anywho, so this guy had only been in the country for a matter of days when he went on to commit these offences. And again, one was against children. Now, he had been given a 12-month sentence. Apparently, it was 12 months and 1 day, to be correct, at Chelmsford prison. Now, he was due to be released in order to be deported. Okay. Now, I was told it was in a couple of days' time, but they're saying that he actually was due to be released that day, but to be deported, taken to a detention centre and deported. I'm actually finding this absolutely shocking that this government are actually deporting someone. They can't even get that right, but they were actually going to deport this one. No human rights lawyers involved. The prison service let him go. You hear about these human rights, all these lefties and these Soros-funded lot, stopping the planes from taking off. This dude, none of that had to happen. You could not make this shit up. Anyway, so, so he was supposed to go on a train. Now, apparently, the mistake, they sent him on the wrong train, apparently, triggered this manhunt. Now, it involved 3 police forces looking for the prisoner. He was finally tracked down to Finsbury Park, probably the mosque, where he was arrested. So this is how it unfolds. This was Friday. So this is him here. Now, you guys may remember that I uploaded a short on Friday with this footage before the news channels even got hold of it, of him stood there in his little tracksuit with his little plastic bag, chatting to his mates in some foreign Ethiopian, I'm guessing, language. Like, not a care in the world. I genuinely believe that this dude didn't even realise he'd done anything wrong. Okay? He just thought he was being released and that was it. He was off. So he was released wearing a prison tracksuit. He was holding a plastic bag. The prison released him on the expectation he would be picked up by immigration enforcement and the Home Office was ready to take him. But it's unclear what happened. They still don't know what happened. Now, a lorry driver who was delivering equipment to Chelmsford Jail on Friday. How's the audio? But did anyone let me know? Cracking sound. Oh, thank you, AI. Thanks. Right, I'm back here. I'm not going to look at the chat for a bit. I'll get distracted, okay? So, now, apparently, the lorry driver was delivering equipment, said that he told the Sky correspondent that he saw the confused offender outside the facility being directed by prison staff. You could make a sketch on this. They need to do like Carry On Up the Prison or something. Outside the facility being directed by prison staff to the city's railway station following his release. So the prison staff have actually told him where to go and the wrong place. The offender is said to have returned to the prison. Listen to this. This is comedy gold. 4 or 5 times. So he actually went back and said, "Are you sure I'm supposed to be going to this train station?" And they said, "Yeah." They turned him away. They turned the guy away 4 or 5 times. The convicted sex offender and child paedophile, basically, he's a pedo, was told, "No, you are fine. Release you onto the streets." So this footage emerged. There he was with his little plastic bag and his little tracksuit. So he's asked them 4 or 5 times to let him back in and they wouldn't. In the video, he appears to ask a group of people for help. And then Friday lunchtime, he boards this train to Chelmsford, going to London. The prisoner boards the Greater Anglia London-bound train. He arrives at the train station, but people are filming him and all sorts. Hang on a minute. Sorry about this. Sorry about that. I just got interrupted briefly there. Right. George, I will take you. I was about to take him walkies, but it's raining. We'll go walkies after the rain, okay? So he ends up in Essex. Then the police were informed after this person filmed him with his bag. Now, the police were appealing to anyone who had seen this dude, but by this stage, somebody had literally filmed him, but they didn't know that there he is on CCTV. The person that filmed him didn't even know that he wasn't supposed to be out because the police didn't tell anyone. But this is when they captured him on CCTV. I think this was this morning. He's got an avocado bag. Like, what's that about? What's this about? It's very camp there. He's like flicking his hair if he's got any, and he's got his avocado bag. This has got to be a wind up, this story, This can't be real. So last night, that was last night, Darliston. There he is, look. And we've got a little video of him here. CCTV images. Here we go.
CCTV pictures now of fugitive Hadush Kabatu. Moving picture now, as you can see, of the sex offender. As we've been reporting, police have confirmed that he was last seen shortly before 8 p.m. on Friday evening in the Dalston area of Hackney.
I shouldn't laugh, guys, right? But you can't. You either laugh or cry at this sort of stuff. So this manhunt was still going on. Then he comes out and says, we're looking for him. Oh, and then David Lammy came out as well last night and said that he was now involved and that he was going to speak to Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary. So that's it then. We're okay because David Lammy's spoken. You know, he's going to save the day. This is the same person who went on Question Time and made that epic fail. Now, we are going to hear soon about from the dad, the father of the girl that he actually sexually abused in a moment as well. But the delivery driver spoke to him outside the prison, was confused. We've seen that bit. And then today, they got him today. Today he was rearrested or whatever he was, and he was taken back. Now, I suspect, right, apparently the public helped. I genuinely suspect that now this has been on the news and everything else, that we're going to end up with these human rights people. I don't know about you guys, but I'm fully expecting it because it's such a big case now. Oh, right. We're going to hear from the dad now. Now, this is the father of the 14-year-old. Now, you imagine this migrant, this illegal migrant, abused his daughter, was convicted, and then let back out on the street. Why is that ad there? Fucking hell. Sorry. Gets really frustrating, you know. Really does. Right, let's hear from him. It'll play. We've got a tenner lady ad.
For period pads that
No,
aren't
a period
designed for
pad.
bladder leaks.
A wee pad.
Rethink your protection. Tenner Discreet Ultra. Incredibly thin, up to 12 hours of dryness. Tenner.
Other
As a
pads
father,
are
I
available.
am completely broken that the man who sexually assaulted my 14-year-old daughter
Oh,
just 4 months ago was accidentally released from prison onto the streets again.
disgusting.
The trauma and torment my daughter has suffered since this assault has really hurt myself and my family. She was slowly starting to get some of her confidence back and has recently started seeing her closest friends and been back in school. Friday's news has caused her so much stress and anxiety. She feared seeing him again in the high road and him recognising her. I'm really worried for my daughter's mental health and well-being because of this assault. This man is a real danger to young women and children, and for him to be wrongly released and walk in the streets freely just 4 months after carrying out 2 sexual assaults, only 5 weeks after being sentenced, all because of a system failure on Friday, is unbelievably irresponsible. Myself and my family feel massively let down and infuriated by HMP Chelmsford, the police, the justice system, and our Labour government. They have all failed. Not just us as a family, but they have failed everyone in the country. I had to find out from a reporter that my daughter's attacker was accidentally released in the day,
Wow.
then be sent images and videos of him walking around throughout the day before the police even alerted her mother. Then later that day, when I attended HMP Chelmsford to seek some answers, I was greeted with hostility and complete disregard for anything I said or asked,
Wow.
totally disrespecting me and my family. I really hope that nobody else's child has to experience what my daughter has. I really feared that this could happen again while Hadush Kabatu was freely walking around the streets of Chelmsford and London over the weekend. I hope he will be deported immediately, as the longer he was roaming the streets, the more threat he posed to women and children of this country. If anything had happened to another child or female, then that would have been on the heads of HMP Chelmsford, as well as the police and the justice system and our Labour government for allowing this sexual predator and illegal immigrant back onto the streets from no one else's mistake but their own. This is the only statement that I will give on this matter, and I would like to ask that every single news reporter across the country respects our privacy and leaves us in peace while we demand answers, the truth, and seek legal advice and action in this matter.
Absolutely disgusting. Now George is barking at what I think is hedgehogs. This guys, never work with children or animals. Mostly animals. Hello, the Walloping. How you doing? So, hi, Amethyst. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. George is barking at, I don't know if it's a cat or something out the window. I don't know. Hello, Willis. How you doing? I'll sort his wrenches out in a minute. I'm just going to finish this piece now. So, basically, the Labour government, right? If this was George, if this was George, it's just somebody walking their dog. All right, please. If this was a Conservative government, the Labour lot would be absolutely screwing, and they would be calling for the resignation of the Justice Secretary and possibly the Home Secretary as well. But because of the hypocrisy of this Labour government, they will not have any criticism whenever anyone has called. Like there was a brief calling on Friday for David Lammy to resign, and he was like, well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's the actual the prison guard's fault. They don't get it. It starts at the top. If there is a major blunder like this one and they're underneath you, you as the management take responsibility and you go. If a business fails and that, you know, the staff are not doing their job properly, who goes? The manager goes. And that's what should happen here. And I can guarantee that if this was a Conservative government in, or any other government, the Labour lot would be screwing. And this is why I cannot stand the hypocrisy of this Labour government. This Labour government that say that they are whiter than white, that they don't do anything wrong, that they are perfect. And there's blunder after blunder after blunder. And it is really starting to piss me off. Anyway, this should not have happened. Regardless of whose fault it was, the top needs to go. David Lammy should go, and that Shabana Mahmood should go. They were supposed to be deporting this person, and they can't even, their own staff can't even communicate with each other. It is disgusting. We laugh because it's just so ridiculous that this can happen. It's a laughable thing, but it's serious that what he has done is not funny. It's serious. But you have to laugh at the absolute audacity of this bloke just wandering around and having his little avocado bag. It's just beyond me. He doesn't look like he's fleeing any sort of war. He doesn't exactly look like he's malnutritioned either. Did you see the size of the gut on him? He looks pretty good to me. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I agree. I'm just having a quick look at the chat now. So, Willie, I'll sort you out in a wrench in a moment. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Richard, hello. Jamesy, Amethyst, Terry Knowles, a band again. Logic is a thing of the past now. It's crazy, isn't it? It is really, how they're walloping. It's really, really insane. Okay, so it's podgy. It's podgy on free food. Now, you've got to wonder, right? Now, that's just one of them. Now, I was thinking to myself, right, how many more of these people, how many more times does this happen? Is this just like, is this happening all the time, right? And we wouldn't know about it, would we? We wouldn't know. Because if it wasn't such a high profile case, then we wouldn't have known. But if it wasn't for the pink ladies and all the, you know, what's going on in Epping, and they have worked bloody hard getting this out there, this wouldn't even be like big national news. It might have just hit local news. It wouldn't have been a national story. But this article caught my eye when I was having a look at that article earlier. Apparently, this isn't the first time that this has happened. It's happened before. I kid you not. Let me just get this article up now. It's happened before. Now, it's happened in 2023 at the same jail. Let me just get this up 1 sec. You could not make this up. Let's get rid of that. You couldn't make this shit up, folks. I swear to God. Right. Hit the like, guys, if you're watching. It does really help. Welcoming every new people that are coming in. I want to try and get a regular slot with the the roundup of the week's news. I think a Sunday could be good, a Sunday or a Friday, because obviously I want to do my curious news, but that can be more in the week on the Curious Bunny. I think the Sunday evening is a good time. Hi, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Ripper, I can't remember what you're called. Hello, lovely jubbly. Look at this. Migrant sex offender is the second person that we know of to be freed by mistake from HMP Chelmsford. So, prison authorities in 2023 were duped into freeing a con man after a fake email from the Royal Courts of Justice said that he should be released on bail. I kid you not. This guy here, Junaid Ahmed, and that was under the Tories. So the Labour will be going nuts about this now. Oh, look, it's happened under you. Someone needs to resign or whatever, resign from the shadow cabinet or whatever. They haven't said that, but that's the sort of thing that they would come out with. Sorry, my back's hurting. Guys, I've got really bad arthritis, if you don't know. So I do have to shuffle about a little bit because of my back. It really hurts. So, a migrant sex offender who was mistakenly released from Chelmsford Prison on Friday is the second while detained at that jail. That's just at that jail. The authorities were duped into freeing this con man. Junaid Ahmed, 36, was waiting sentence after admitting posing as a doctor to rent a house that he couldn't afford and buy a home worth more than 2 million. Like, why? Why would you do that? If you can't afford it, why pretend that you're a doctor? Seems to me he wanted to get in the house to do nefarious things. He was released from Chelmsford Prison, just like Hadush Kabatu. I've done it again. I think I've got it right. Last week, he strolled out the main door. He was freed for 2 days, not this, that's the other guy, in June 2023. The authorities realised their mistake after becoming suspicious when they received similar emails urging the release of 2 more prisoners, Adam Mohammed and Charlie Whitaker. An investigation established that the emails were forged. And the next day, a manhunt began for the fraudsters and Junaid Ahmed. 2 days later, he was arrested, hiding in a loft of a house they raided in Essex, 10 miles from the jail. He was eventually jailed for 4 years for his 6 original fraud offences. During the investigation, police arrested his wife and later this Charlie Whitaker's mother, whose mobile phone showed texts arranging for the escape. So you could not make this shit up, folks. This isn't the first time. These people are beyond stupid. Oh, thank you, close to 7. Is it close to 7? Thank you. I've deleted it off the Curious Bunny. I'm still going to be streaming over there, but I'm going to be doing. Hello, cool cat. It won't let me show your comment. It won't let me for some reason. It's annoying. Right, I'm just reading the chat just briefly. Willie's live as well. Yeah, he knew. This is the last one, not this one. This was the one in 2023. The one now, he apparently, if you've just joined us, cool cat, the one now, he tried to come back in 4 or 5 times. Yeah, I didn't want it on 3 channels, close to 7. So I've just done it for 99p. Guys, if you want to join the membership, you can, 99p. Once we get 15 members, I'll do a little live stream for us. So for the members, but we need to get more people. So if you want to join that, you can do. Yes, honestly, the beginning of the stream, I covered it, cool cat. Welcome in. Yeah, he tried to get back in 4 or 5 times, and they said no and took him to the train station and told him to go. It's totally and utterly bonkers. I don't know what else to say. So you've got this other guy coming back in. You've trying to come back in and weren't allowed to come back in. Then you've got another one let out because of fake emails. What's going on? What is going on? I just right. Okay. So what else have we got now? David Lammy has come out and spoken about this, and he says that apparently he's going to be deported this week. So I don't know. Let's just have a quick. Sorry for putting you through this, guys, but let's just hear what David Lammy has to say on this matter, and then we'll move on to the next story. So yeah, I'm just bringing you some of the main things that have happened. I will cover international if there's something big going on, but it'll mostly be UK. Now let's
Listen up,
got an
Lifer
ad
lady,
again.
and you, pipe guy, everybody. Meet Ionos. It uses clever AI to build you a super smart website in no time. And you can use many tools to start growing
Other
your
AI
business.
tools
Nice,
are
nice,
available,
nice?
guys.
Yes, I thought so. Try it, darlings. Ionos, your digital partner.
Here
Well,
we go.
I've seen the Sky reporting from yesterday, and of course that will be something.
Guys, I just want to add, if you are not in the UK, right, this is our Home Secretary, sorry, no, Justice Secretary. He keeps being moved around. He was Foreign Secretary. Foreign? Yes. Then he got moved. Then he was Deputy PM. He's not anymore. This guy is an absolute buffoon. He's such a moron. He makes Boris Johnson look like a mad, crazy scientist person. He is beyond stupid. These people we have in government right now are activists. They hate this country. They are pro-Palestine, Jew hating. I don't even know what to call them, but they're not actual politicians. They just say stuff that they don't mean, and they've got no conviction about them. And it's embarrassing. In the UK now, I'm so embarrassed of our government. It is just a joke. I don't know who voted for these people. I still don't know anyone that voted for them. I suspect it was rigged. That's just my opinion before they start suing me. But this guy is our Justice Secretary. He's such a moron. He's the guy that when JD Vance came here to visit a couple of months ago, he took him fishing without a fishing permit, and they both got fined because he didn't know that you had to get a fishing permit. So stupid he is. He's not a politician. He's got no integrity. He's got no intelligence. And this is the man who is supposed to be looking after our justice. He should resign for this fuck up, what just happened. But anyway, we're all okay now because he says he's going to be deported, when it's his lot that are usually stopping people from being deported on their human rights grounds.
Object to the independent inquiry that must now take place. The public need to be reassured that people are due to be released, are released properly. This man should have been basically in line to be deported and should not have been released into the community. That should not have happened. Of course, many, many thousands of people are released from prison in our system every year, and that passes without any fault. But that this happened and that it's happened before does need a proper inquiry. It's right that he's questioned by the police following his route from Essex into London, and then of course 48 hours in which he has been basically around. It's right that we get to the bottom of what's happened over the course of those 48 hours, but I can assure you that he will be deported as he was expected to be deported. I expect that to happen this week.
All he's doing is just repeating what we already know and then telling us that he'll be deported. Now, I'm going to put a poll up after this. Who believes that this dude is actually going to be deported? Because it's embarrassing. Lessons will never be learned. They just say that, don't they, Lee? It's just absolutely bonkers. I am really shocked that they're going to actually deport him. But we'll see. We will wait and see. So in other news, what else have we had going on? There's been quite a bit going on this week. What else have we had? Putin's been doing some missile tests today, apparently. So I don't know how. Some people are saying that this isn't true, that he's just saying it to try and scare the West. I personally am not one of these people that believe that Putin is this horrendous baddie. I don't support him. I don't particularly like him, but I don't particularly dislike him compared to any of the other psychopaths running all these countries. He's no worse than the psychopaths running our country right now. So when they vilify this one person, they need to look at themselves, because Russia, compared to the West right now, is actually doing okay. Let's just say that. They never force the jab on people. They've banned children from mutilating their bodies. That's all banned in Russia. And they don't have a massive immigration problem. Just saying. But anyway, so he's now saying that he's testing this invincible nuclear-powered missile. And this is what he's saying. He said it was in the air for about 15 hours on Tuesday. So they always tell us after the event. So there he is there. And I don't know whether this is more propaganda to scare us. I don't know. But this new missile, it's got an unlimited range, which are pretty much unheard of. That means they're saying that they can take out anywhere, any country, anywhere. Now, if this is true, this is extremely concerning. But I don't want to scare people, because I'm not a scaremongerer, and I'm not going to go around saying that the world's going to fall apart and we're all going to die, because the amount of scaremongering right now on the news is off the chart. And there's a lot of YouTubers and podcasters that are doing this scaremongering. I don't agree with it. I think that we all need to just take a step back, look at this for what it is, and the media will always blow this up. So I thought it was worth mentioning this, because if the news do show it, you're going to hear about it. But just take it with a pinch of salt. Putin does not want a war, because if he has a war, then he's going to get blown up as well. Okay? Nobody wants a nuclear war, because we're all going to get blown up. They're just going to show off against each other. But apparently he's got this missile that can do anything that he wants. Now, it's been dubbed the SSC X9 Skyfall by NATO. And he said it's crucial testing. So let's just see if it's the Sky is saying that it's all rhetoric. It's absolutely no benefit to Russia to get involved in nuclear. That's what I was saying, nuclear exchange. It's just about trying to keep the West at bay. So watch this space. There'll probably be more propaganda on the news. And all I'm saying is, if you do come across this story, guys, don't lose sleep over it. Look, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And if it does happen, we won't know about it anyway, because we'll all be gone. But try not to worry about it. Right, when people causing fear and offering the solution to the... Yeah, exactly. Well said, Cool Cat. Terry Knowles banned again. I think the world is off its head. Exactly. I refuse to live in fear. Same here. I'm glad you guys are on the same page. They have, but not nuclear. I don't know if they can... I thought nuclear couldn't... is Moo Moo here? Moo Moo. Who's Moo Moo? I do take a lot of this news with a pinch of salt. Exactly, Jenna, love. You have to, don't you, darling? So, see what else is going on. What's this? Actually, I think we've got the video of them catching that migrant. Just quickly, I'm just going to show you this. We've got the video of it. I know I'd finished that story, but I've not watched it yet, so let's just have a look and just see if it looks real, because I'm starting to think this whole thing was just a massive psyop to distract us from something else that might have been going on this weekend. Let's watch. Where's the audio? Oh, it's not a video. Oh, hang on. Let's watch this again. Stupid music. There he is, look. So who's giving this coat then? This music's proper divvy, isn't it? Well, there he is with his Ocado bag. So he'd acquired the clothing after being initially. So I wonder where he got the clothes from then. That's the video that we'd shown the other day. Where's the video of him being put in the van? That's what I want to see. Makes me laugh how many random Ethiopians you can walk up to and ask for directions. Music's really getting on my tits now. Right, I want to see the dramatic moment that he's bundled into a van. That was him getting arrested, scumbag. He actually said that he didn't know you couldn't go around molesting young girls. That was his actual defence. No, you can't do that. Oh, I didn't know. Shit you not. So there isn't any footage of him being put into a van. Sorry about that, guys. Just usual shitty clickbait. So forget that one. As I meant to show that earlier. What else have we got? Now, another story this week was the video by Reform MP Sarah Poachin. Now, we're going to watch a bit of this clip. It's one that I've spoken about before. Hi Susan, how you doing? Hi Space Cat, hi everybody, welcome in. Now, guys, if you've not watched this clip, we're going to watch a little bit of it, not the whole thing. But Sarah Poachin is a Reform MP. Again, this is in the UK. If you're watching from abroad, you might not know what I'm talking about. Now, she worded this wrong, right? But I understand where she's coming from. And I've said this myself. And I don't think it's racist to point out what is there in front of your face, right? Now, I've noticed if you're watching ads, this is nothing about against being racist or nothing, it's just factual. If you're watching ads, the majority of ads, I say all of the ads now, have got either mixed race or black or brown, or I've noticed that the Chinese are very underrepresented as well, which I think is unfair. Have you noticed that? It's never the Chinese or the Far Eastern, the actual Asian people that are very underrepresented, in my opinion, because we do have quite a big, group of them. Jews as well, they're not represented on ads. It always seems to be, your mix of your mixed race and your black and your brown. Now, this isn't being racist, pointing out the facts that nearly every single ad will never have white people in. Why is that? It's like they've taken the average snapshot of London or Birmingham or Manchester or these big cities and says, right, the average people look like this in this city. But people that don't live in the big cities, we are a predominantly white country. It's not racist to state the facts, right? I am not a racist person. I've got mixed race family. I'm pointing out just facts that we are still just about a majority white country. So therefore, the representation should be to reflect the country. Now, what Sarah Poachin was trying to say, I believe, is that every time she puts the TV on, there's never any white people on the adverts. Without being nasty, she shouldn't have said what she did. The way she worded it is that there's something wrong with black people on the TV. That's not what she should have said. I don't think that's what she meant. If anything, I find it patronising to those people who aren't white, of whatever colour, that they're only getting these little acting jobs because of the colour of their skin. They should be getting the acting jobs because they're good at what they do. I find that so patronising. And I speak to many people, black people, Asian people, all different, and they'll say to me, they don't like it either. It's these liberal elite whites that want to sort of, they want to say, oh, well, we feel sorry for you, so we're going to push you. But then it's not actually helping anybody. People should be given roles in jobs or in acting or in anything. It should be because you are good at the job. The same thing happened last year with the MI5. They were recruiting people of ethnic origin. White people were not allowed to actually try and get into this program. It's very true. They don't look comfortable. They are really, really pushing this. They are pushing this lie that everyone should be mixed race. They are trying to dilute people down. But if we talk about it, we're called racist. But it's not racist to point out what's in front of your eyes. This is what Marxism has done. This is what the Fabian game was. It's over 100 years. They had this plan, and this is it being. It's literally being done right now, where we are self-censoring, and it's totally bonkers. And I will continue calling out what I see with my eyes. It's not racist to point out a fact. We are still a majority white country. That isn't racist. Now, there's so many people that came over here in the Windrush generation and beyond, and after that have just assimilated and just classed as British now. And I think they're sick of it as well, because they want to get on and do well and not have this like lefty, what's the word? It's patronising. It is patronising. It really is. Do you remember a couple of years ago when they invented that thing at Sainsbury's, and they said that the black people in Sainsbury's could have a separate lunch break in their own room? That is segregation. We're going backwards. Martin Luther King will be turning in his grave if he could see what's happening right now. We shouldn't be picked out on our skin colour. We should be picked out because we're doing a good job. Or, we want your lunch break at this time. Doesn't matter what colour you are or what religion you are. It's all done by design. It's all about divide and conquer. And we need to stop pandering to this absolute nonsense. Yes, and the RAF. Anyway, it does my head in. So we're going to watch a little bit of Sarah. And I don't agree with how she worded this. I think this was wrong. But let's just hear what she had to say.
Sarah Pochin, who's the Reform UK for Runcorn and Helsby. Sarah, good morning.
Morning, Peter. Lovely to be here.
Great to have you with us for the full half an hour. Really appreciate your time. Tell us, first of all, your reaction to this migrant being released.
Well, look, it's utter incompetence, isn't it, by the system yet again failing the British people. We now have a convicted sex attacker on the streets of London, we believe.
Okay, she's giving her opinion on this. Let me just go forward to where she talks about this with the ads. She's had to apologise for this. But like I say, I do think that the way she worded it was wrong. But I think she was trying to say what I've just said.
This is a fact. A prison officer whistleblower told me this, that when some of these Nigerian prison officers are out now on the wings, they have cars, Peter. I mean, I've got a piece of paper here. Look, they have cars, and they on one side it's got whatever it says in Nigerian, and on the other side there's the English translation. That has things like get in your cell or whatever. That is the state of our prisons. So what reform will do, for a start, is deport 10,700 prisoners that are currently foreign national offenders in our prisons. That immediately releases pressure on the prisons. The next thing we do is we have to invest in prison officers, and we have to train them properly. Whatever was wrong with using our ex-military.
What are we doing to plan for this if we get into government? Establishment will throw. I'm concerned.
Veterans, for example, to be prison officers. They understand discipline. They understand.
Let's have a listen, because it's in here. I don't know whereabouts, but she's got questions. Let's have a listen. I really like her, and I don't agree with what she said, but I do agree with the sentiment of it. She got it wrong, and she has apologised. But let's have a listen.
And men. My dad was a sergeant major in the army. He knew how to control men, and he understood it. Let's get back to basics.
Okay, I want to go to another call. Jackie in Oldham. Jackie, go ahead. You're very welcome to the programme. What would you like to say to Sarah?
Good morning, Sarah.
Hi,
as
Jackie.
a Reform member, I'm concerned that if we get into government, the establishment will throw the kitchen sink at us. The blob civil servants, I think, will be hostile to a reform government. What are we doing to plan for this if we get into government?
Okay, Jackie, stay where you are. Sarah, go ahead.
Great question, Jackie, because so many people now do ask me this when I am giving speeches or attending rallies up and down the country. I get asked this a lot. The fact is, and I say the same thing, we are in a situation where the Tory government and the Labour government over the last 20 years has let particularly departments like the Home Office end up in a situation where the tail is wagging the dog. We are the elected politicians. We are the people that represent people like you, Jackie, who have voted for us. And so we, about the will of the government.
But what practical steps are you going to take?
Well, what the fact is that you don't let the civil service, we will have done all the preparation, the legal.
Certainly. And what's interesting as well, maybe I could ask Sarah this actually, is whether you feel, Sarah, because of the election to the west, Sarah, that there's a sort of
looking for it now, guys. All right.
Okay, out.
Undoubtedly. Fact is, Jackie, keep the faith, be in power, then it's about the will of that government.
To try to keep Reform UK out.
George!
Said the Labour Party has to give a stronger sense of purpose and in its values and beliefs. Starmer has said she's a proud defender of Labour victory. We'll do more on that a bit later in the show, but Lucy Powell is now the leader of, deputy leader of the Labour Party. Sarah Pochin is with us. She is, of course, the Reform UK MP for Runcorn and Helsby. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let me do a couple of quick-fire questions for you from our texters. Dan and Kent says, morning, Peter. Can you ask Sarah a simple question? Is Reform UK a capitalist party or a socialist one?
Well, that's an interesting question. We represent hard-working people of Britain and we want to keep taxes as low as possible and make growth as high as possible. And of course, you can actually borrow, if you like, some things from both of those theories of economics. But we're all about representing the British people should be prioritised over any other people that come here as foreign nationals. I believe not agree with over they leave the country. And if we lose the top that looks after those people, so I
Badenoch said that Reform UK was Corbynism with a Union Jack. Talked about it so much. Let me ask you what Barry has got in touch to say. Nigel Farage has stated that should he become Prime Minister, he will not ban halal or kosher slaughter due to cultural difference.
It sounds pretty horrific and cruel going on in the Muslim community. It's probably not
a bit left field, this one, but I think it's creepingly important. Would Reform do anything to look at the representation of the demographics of TV and public advertising? Because we're getting to the point now where adverts don't represent what this country looks like, and actually positive demonisation of white people, just portrayed as criminals or inadequate when they're not portrayed anywhere else. Now, the reason why this is important, we got a case of art imitates life, because we're getting to the point where a number of my friends think that we're being discriminated like in employment markets because white men are seen as useless and whatever and just invisible. And there's one financial institution which coincidentally uses a strikingly similar image of Nigel in their advertising for an incompetent, useless, arrogant white male. I just wondered if that's something Reform would look into.
Okay, Stuart, stay where you are. Sarah, what do you think of what Stuart's saying? What would Reform UK do about it, if anything?
I think Stuart's absolutely right. Drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people, full of, people that basically are anything.
What's wrong with that, Sarah? What's wrong with that?
Well, it doesn't reflect our society. And I feel that, your average white person, average white family is like, I agree with you, Stuart, not represented anymore in TV.
There are lots of white people on television, Sarah, or they're not. There are lots of white people. There are lots of white men. There are lots of white women.
We're talking about adverts, and how many times do you look at a TV advert and you think there's not a single white person on it? And actually it is. It's something that's happened because I believe of the woke liberality that goes on inside, this sort of like in the arty-farty world. When it comes to, northern towns like Runcorn that I represent, it's just not representative of the rest of the country. It might be fine inside the M25, but it's definitely not representative of the rest of the country. And actually, you know what, I'm hearing this more and more. People notice and people will switch off. It's like the BBC. You know, who watches Newsnight anymore? Nobody.
Well,
Probably.
their ratings have gone up actually at Newsnight, Sarah, but it's an interesting one. Listen,
Well,
thank you.
You know my point, yeah.
Stuart, quick response from you.
Yeah, I just think that it's not a flippant issue. I'm not saying Sarah said it was flippant or you are, but it's a question of, you know, this is going seriously in society where, you know, white people and particularly white men are being demonized and I think discriminated against.
Okay.
I agree. And I agree it happens in the jobs market as well. I totally agree.
Very quickly, Sarah, will you reverse, Hannah asked, will you reverse the VAT on independent schools? Send kids, special educational needs.
And she worded that totally wrong because she actually said, it drives me mad, her words, not mine. It drives me mad when I see lots of black people or Asian people, right? Now, what she meant to say was, no, I can't stand him either. They've really messed up on talk. I don't want to go into the Mike Graham thing. My prediction is he'll be back. That's just my prediction. My gut feeling is Mike Graham will be back. He's actually deleted his burning down the house post as well, which is interesting. But anyway, I love Mike Graham. He's awesome. He keeps me sane. Anyway, so I totally get what she's trying to say, and I agree with the caller. And it's not about we don't want to see other colours. We just want to see a representation of the country. If you went to Japan and you put the TV on, you would expect to see Japanese people on the screen. You wouldn't expect to see white people in every single advert. You'd be like, huh? We're in Japan. If you go to Africa, you wouldn't expect to see Japanese people on every single advert. So why is it a white country, we're not allowed to have our own people anywhere? I've actually spoke to people who have actually worked in the TV industry, and they said the amount of the times that they'll read like these requests for people and it will say ethnic only, no whites. And no one ever talks about it. And it's racist. The anti-white racism does very much exist. But do you know what? The people that are pushing it aren't the black people or the Asian people. They're the bloody white people. They're the posh, elite, champagne socialist, liberal whites. And it's all about dividing us all up. And I've said this before. It is a class war, not a race war in this country. They want a race war. And this is why I don't agree with people that just blindly follow morons like Tommy Robinson, who it's all about division. That's all it is. It's just about division. And Tommy Robinson, I know a lot of you like him, but he's not what you think he is, all right? He's not what you think he is. He doesn't give a shit about you and me. He couldn't care less. All he cares about is the money and how much of it he can get up his nose. And that has come from people that have been very close to him as well, that he does have a major coke problem, that he is spending money. He got pulled over recently in a Bentley. How many people can afford a Bentley? He can. Makes you wonder why, doesn't it? Because all the people that are donating to him are funded for that Bentley. But anyway, moving on. They want a race war. They want that. And we've got to start looking at it's a class war, not a race war. I don't want to get into the Zionism and the Jews and all that stuff. I don't want to get into it. All I know is that person is a convicted fraudster. Just saying. Cool Cat, what country are you in, by the way? Are you in the UK? Randomly watching adverts this afternoon. I noticed 2 married couples, both for the same sex. They want you gay skin. Yeah, exactly. In Tax to the Hill. Exactly. It's crazy. And you get like a white representative of white family, and they're always poor and rough and chavvy. And it's wrong because there's good and bad in both. There's good and bad in all, basically. Doesn't matter what colour you are. Terry Knowles Band again says that Japan had a big protest after a young Japanese wife got raped. She found out she was pregnant. Oh, really? By who? Another Japanese person? No, he doesn't. But I've heard some rumours about him as well, but I don't know how true they are, so I'm not going to repeat them. Exactly, not all Muslims are bad at all. I just think they're completely brainwashed. The Quran has a lot of dodgy stuff in there. But apparently now the Bible has come with a warning of death and violence in the Bible, but there's no warning with the Quran of paedophilia. And don't even get me started on the Talmud. I'm very much behind Tommy Robinson. However, I'm happy to celebrate the only diversity that matters, diversity of thought. One of my mates is a lefty. Called Cat, I used to support Tommy Robinson, and it takes a lot to speak out against him because his followers just treat him like a god. And I used to support him. I'm not a lefty, far from it. I don't think I'm anything. I'm just looking for the truth. I don't try and do this lefty righty thing. But he scams people. He scammed me. Yeah, it was only a tenner, but he scammed me out of my money. He told me that he had to buy a bus, and he took my money, and he never bought the bus. He got handed it to me, and he took money off a lot of us for that. And he's scammed 2 people that I know of out of thousands and thousands. You know, why is he driving around in a Bentley, guys? You got to think. Oh, the Tommy chant is so embarrassing. Tommy. His name's Stephen Lee Axley Lennon. Look, guys, all I'm saying is that he is somebody who will take you so far, but he won't take you all the way. And he's a bit like the Pied Piper. And he knows that whenever he's involved in any demonstrations, there will be trouble. Look at what the Pink Ladies have achieved. Just look at what they've achieved. Without Tommy Robinson, without any of that, they went to Epping, their sisters, and there was mothers and aunties. They even took their children, which I don't agree with, by the way. And they protested quietly and calmly, and they got it closed. Yeah, it got opened again, but that's only because there's going to be a court case this month, finally. You know, they won one, they lost one, and then we're going to get the next answer. But they got it in the news. They initially got it closed down. The Pink Ladies did at Epping. And there wasn't a Tommy Robinson in sight. Now, this million march that happened, because it was a Tommy Robinson march, then they could call it all these racist and all this stuff on the news. It's all about perception. If he wasn't there, then they wouldn't have been able to have called it that. They want everyone who follows him to be called racist. Now, we know Tommy Robinson isn't far right. It's ridiculous. How can he be far right when he's paid for by the Friends of Israel and he openly admits that? Far right Nazis don't like Jews. He's not far right at all. He's a sivnat. He's not far right. It's all lies. But he gladly gets called it because it means that he can then tarnish his followers with the same brush. Bonkers, isn't it? But I don't want to get into this left-right thing. And there's a lot of people on the right who absolutely adore Tommy Robinson. I used to support him. I don't think people realise. They think that they're quite new to it and they don't realise his past. They don't realise that he actually beat a woman police officer and is convicted. They don't realise that he's a convicted fraudster and just wonder why he's driving around in a Bentley. Do you know how much those things cost? When he got stopped and arrested recently, he was in a Bentley, guys. Think about it. I'm in the UK. Liberal. It's bonkers. Now, I'll show you that short that I put up today. Let me just find it. This clip. Where's it gone? Hold on. No, I don't want that. Can you hear George playing now with his toys? Yeah, so I'm just going to show you this. Some of you may have already seen it, but this is finally the left getting the truth, right? They're in bed with all the, you know, all the different groups. The different groups that wouldn't be in these little groups if it wasn't for them. Thank you. Think about it. Who's forcing whites to stick together, Muslims to stick together, LGBTQ to stick together when they're not actually like each other? A Q is not a an L and a G and a T, they're all different. They don't actually really get on. A lot of the trans folk don't get on with the gay folk because the trans people are actually doing the reverse of what the gay people are. They're swapping around so then they can pretend that they're not gay and they're with the opposite sex. It's all confusing. It blows my mind. But lumping everyone together who is not straight is another thing they've done. Anyone who's not white, the BAME thing was all about lumping anyone who wasn't white together. It's the people at the top that are doing this. They're lumping everybody into these little groups. It's to cause division. We need to look beyond that and look at who's doing it. It's not your average Joe on the street, you know. But anyway, this is my channel, as you should be able to see it now. Yeah. Have a look at this. Have a look at this short here. See if I can make that bigger. You may have seen it already, I don't know. But so this is yesterday, just a bit of context. This was yesterday. Why has it done that? What's going on here? Stuck. So this was yesterday, and it's gone again.
Oh, why am I lagging?
Get it up now, try again. And this was the lefties and the Muslims. I think it was a Muslim Brotherhood. I might be wrong, I'm not sure, but I think it was. Were obviously chanting something not very nice. And the lefty says, don't say that. We're on the same side. Listen.
There's no need for that. We're on the same side, bro. No, we're not. Yes, we are, bro.
Listen again. If it'll play it again. Listen.
There's no need for that. We're on the same side, bro. No, we're not. Yes, we are, bro.
You're really not on the same side. And when are they going to realise that none of this is compatible with each other? You can't have your LGB and the T, if you want to include that into that group, with the Muslims, because if you're in Palestine and you're gay, you'll be thrown off a building or stoned to death. It's just bonkers. And we've lost our British sense of humour. Well, not all of us have, but some of us have lost our British sense of humour. And I don't get it. You know, I'll never lose mine. I'll always take the piss out of myself, you know, out of others, as long as it's not hurting anyone's feelings. We take ourselves way too seriously now. So let me just see what else is going on before we go. There is a hurricane due in Jamaica that is quite concerning. It's called Hurricane, I don't know, Melissa. Interesting name. So if you do have family or friends or people on holiday there, it's worth checking out if they're okay, because there's some there's a very nasty hurricane over there. I'm just seeing what else. Apparently the heist baddies that stole the Louvre jewels have been arrested, but the French aren't happy, because they're saying that they wanted it kept as a secret, and by it being leaked to the media, it's caused a lot of trouble. What else we got going on here? Your clocks went back, by the way. Everyone should know about it if you're in the UK. Right, let's see what else we've got going on. Just bear with me. You know, Georgie, have you ate all your dinner? Have you ate your din-dins? Have you? Right, I'm going to be getting off in a sec. I've got to go and walk George. Does it start raining now? It's usually has two a day, and he's out in the garden as well. But it's been raining all day, so he's not had his usual. Now there has been. This is quite breaking news, guys. There's a manhunt in. Well, there's Google Chrome. Yam alright, how you doing, Babs? Yeah, yam alright is a yam. I'm not a yam. I'm a brummie. I'm a brummie. though I don't live there anymore and I haven't done for many years. I've still got a bit of a Brummie accent mixed with an East Yorkshire accent. Oh, thank you, Cool Cat. Thanks for coming in. Honestly, I appreciate you. I want to do this every Sunday at 7 o'clock. We'll do a rundown of what's been happening in the week. Whereabouts are you from, Google Chrome, Google Chrome? So this is breaking news tonight, guys. This is in Walsall. You know, not far from I was from Sutton Coldfield, but this is in Walsall. A woman in her 20s has been raped in a racially aggravated attack. So they're saying that I think the cops have urged anyone who recognises this man to come forward. Now, you can guarantee that if it was the other way round, which is all the time, nobody would bat an eyelid, right? Oh, they're doing that again, are they? They're going to keep playing the next video. No, we're not on that video. So we're looking for this person here. That person, which is an average-looking person in a black coat. Let me just read the story. A woman has been raped in alleged racial attack. So it says here, the woman is now being supported by officers. So basically, anyone who is attacked by a white person, it must be racial. Now, this may or may not be a racial attack, but I will say that women and girls are being constantly attacked by immigrants and, you know, non-white, non-indigenous people. But have you noticed it's never racial? Why wasn't that Ethiopian? Why wasn't that a racial attack? Why did he go for a white girl? How many thousands of girls have been racially attacked? Children in Rotherham and Oldham and all these other places, you know. But no one talks. That's not right. I'm going to take you now. George wants to go out. No one talks about race then, but one white person rapes a non-white person and it's racially aggravated. Why? It might have been. Obviously, if he called the names, then yeah. But, you know, so apparently this happened. Let me just find out. It was in Walsall. Let me just find out where in Walsall. Does it say? A nearby property by a man that she did not know. We are following multiple lines of inquiries, dash cam footage. It was, hang on. At this stage, even we're not linking this to any other offences. It looks like it was a Sikh girl. Right. He said a neighbour heard the woman screams and offensive words being said to her. Well, that's what I said. If it was blatantly racist, if there was racist words screamed to her, then that's different. Yeah. Can you get him ready for his walk, please? I'm hoping my floor manager's listening to me. Yeah, Walsall is a diverse area. It comes a month after a man was arrested in a separate case when a man was arrested for allegedly racially motivated rape of a Sikh woman. So it can't be the same person because they arrested that person. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And I reckon they've got the wrong man the first time and it's the same person doing both. Hi, Mand, how you doing? Yeah, you're right. He could be Eastern European, couldn't he? Yeah. You're right. He might not be English just because he's white doesn't mean anything. So, yeah, it is a bit of a shithole, isn't it, darling? Pinch of salt on this story, Penny. Like anything like this, my BS meter is pinging. Can you get him ready, please? I'll take him out in a minute. He needs to go. Guys, I've got to walk my dog now. So I was going to cover a couple more stories because there's just so much going on in the news at the moment. But I'm not sure. Can you just get him ready? Get his t-shirt on and his coat on, please. Another story's here. Let's see what this one is. Thank you everyone for being here, by the way. I really appreciate you. Please hit the like it out. He needs the loo. Could you get him ready, please? A late mum 45 found dead in street is pictured as man 18 quizzed by cops. This is horrific. Hang on a minute, just hold on. Sorry, guys. This lady was found dead in the street by passers-by. They've said 43 there. They said 45 up there. Journalism's just gone right down. Prestatyn. I used to go on there on holiday every single year, several times. Not far from Rill. It's supposed to be a shithole now, though. Look how young she looks. This is horrific. Body found in street. 18-year-old arrested. An 18-year-old's been held in custody after being arrested 5 hours later over the deeply disturbing killing. It's just not another migrant, is it? Surely not. Angela lived in the seaside town. Police are appealing for anyone who was in the Morpher area between 3 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. to contact them. I'm guessing that's today. I think it's today. Oh, this is awful, isn't it? The family being supported. 18-year-old. Surely it wouldn't be her own son. Surely not. Right, okay, so it was Friday morning. 18-year-old. A warrant of further detention was granted. What's the world coming to? You know, Prestatyn, yeah, it was a little bit rowdy and it was a bit of white trashy. See, I can say that. You won't be able to say that soon. But, you know, what's going on? Did he go?
No.
Right, I'll take him out now. Another horrendous story. Look, XL bully has mauled an 8-month-old girl. She's not dead, but she's in a coma. 19-year-old's been arrested. People keep saying to me that it's the owners, not the dog. I disagree. When it comes to this dog particular and the genetics of this dog, I don't agree they should be put down because I think that's someone's pet and they may never, ever turn. But I do believe that they should all be neutered because that does calm them down a lot. They should all be neutered and they should have to wear a muzzle if out. And they're not, so they should, basically, if you have them neutered, they can't carry anything on, can they? So they'll eventually die and they won't have any children. I think that's the best way to do it. I don't agree with people saying they should all be killed, but I don't think they should be out on a lead, or especially without a lead. They should have a muzzle on if they do leave the house. This is devastating crash. Horrifying moment. A skidding jackknifed lorry flattens a car, killing 2 after losing control. This is horrendous. It's that again, look. Guys, if you're watching me for the first time, look at this, folks. Oh my God, yeah. That's foreign plates by the looks of it. I remember when where I used to work, there was a woman there and she got hit by a lorry. It destroyed her life. There it is. You didn't see it before. Here you go. Look at this. Oh my God, killed 2 people. Horrific. Anyway, guys, if you like me doing these like news roundups, I can do them, or I can put them in a video. It'll take me a bit longer because I have to edit it and everything. But I can put them in a video and just cover the latest stories like that and release it on a Sunday. That might be better for people. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's it. I think there's loads more stories, but I need to get going now. That's why I came on early, because I've got a lot to do. I'm just checking if there's anything else we've missed. I wanted to show you. I think there was a couple of videos, actually. I'll take you in a minute, G-Dog, all right? Oh, yeah, look at this, guys. This is what I wanted to show you. This, before we go, this is in Merseyside, and this is a police officer calling protesters. I'll get this up on the screen. Nonsense. Could not make this shit up. Thank you, Close 7. Before we go, guys, I knew there was something. Look at this. Watch this. So she basically says, why are your officers calling members of the public nonsense? It is absolutely disgusting. She's basically saying that anyone that's protesting is a nonce. Watch this, folks. Put this full.
Do you have a problem? You just want a video of people. A bit noncy, that bit.
Bit noncy. How is it noncy? What did you ask her out for a drink?
Do you have a problem? You just want a video of people. A bit noncy, that bit.
How is it noncy filming people in the street if they're an adult? And if you're a police officer, then you're a public servant. And therefore, you know, you're going to be in the public eye, you're going to get filmed. They want to stop this. I will say, though, that I don't agree with a lot of these auditors going around filming people in the faces, because they're just going to get filming banned. Oh, thank you, Amethyst. Good night, Space Cat. So, yeah, I can either do a roundup like this on a Sunday at 7. We'll try and keep it the same time. Or I can do a video and premiere it. But I know people do like the live streams. Yeah, hit the like. Thank you very much to Jane. Guys, if you want to join the membership, you can. It's not on the Curious Bunny anymore. It's over here. It's still on Penny Bunny as well. I'll drop the link in. Once we get about 15 members, I will be doing some members only streams. Let me just get the membership link up. It's only 99p if you want to join. We've got 6 members now. Thank you very much. So if you was a member on Curious Bunny, that's gone now. For now, anyway, I've disabled it because I wanted to do it over here at 99p and I just didn't want them on 3 different channels. So there you go. All right, George, I know you want to go walks. All right. Has it stopped raining now? Yeah, it's not raining. You know what that means, don't you? Do you know what that means? Go walkies. Yeah. His face. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Again, please hit the like. Keep an eye. There's some more shorts coming up as well. And there's some other stuff coming up on both my channels. So I've got some filming of the local church to come up on the Curious Bunny. And some other bits and pieces coming up on Penny Bunny. These 3 channels are keeping me very, very busy. Anyway, take care, everybody. Have a great week. Lots of love. And as Close to 7 says it, have a great week and see you all soon. Good night. God bless. Ta-ta. Thank you for watching. Bye.